Now, there are fresh fears of a widening West Asia war. Oman briefly suspended crude oil loading operations at its largest oil terminal, Mina Al Fahal, following an explosion near the offshore mooring berths. The Reuters, citing certain unnamed sources, reported that the blast was caused by a suspected drone attack. However, the authorities have not publicly identified those responsible. It is still unclear as to when and how the attack happened. On Wednesday, the Iranian state media reported that Tehran had targeted an American military ship hosting a control and command center while it was approaching the Iranian territorial waters in the Gulf of Oman. However, the U.S. Central Command has denied Iran's allegation. Mina Al Fahal, located at the Gulf of Oman outside the Strait of Hormuz, is one of the country's most important oil export terminals. Mina Al Fahal is positioned strategically outside of the highly volatile Strait of Hormuz. Situated on the coast near Muscat, the terminal serves as a primary lifeline for Oman's crude exports, handling anywhere from 800,000 to 900,000 barrels per day. Now, Oman has long acted as a back-channel diplomatic mediator between the United States and Tehran, and any infrastructure disruption on its territory marks a critical escalation in the wider West Asia conflict. Now, Iran knows that it needs Oman's cooperation to give any Hormuz fee arrangement credibility. Oman, on the other hand, is aware that it can de-escalate tensions by making sure that these fees never harden into an arrangement that is permanent or looks like a toll for the Americans. Now, Oman is resisting the U.S. pressure to break its links with Iran. It insists that it has only been negotiating with Tehran on a future management system for the Strait of Hormuz that will be compliant with international law. But the American President Donald Trump last week, in off-the-cuff remark, threw Oman into the spotlight, and he's categorically threatened to bomb Oman. But Muscat has tried to assuage Washington by saying that the Sultanate is opposed to a system of tolls and will uphold the principle of freedom of navigation. At present, Oman is in fact trying to find a formula that gives Iran enough of a claim for victory, and it gives the U.S. enough to avoid acknowledging that any of its red lines were crossed, and gives the global economy and shipping industry enough confidence to believe that the Strait of Hormuz is open for trade again.